Welcome to another episode of Air Power Live. Today, the importance of ground in finishing.
We've got your parts grounded. We've got your hooks grounded. We've got your conveyor grounded. We have your supply grounded, right? If it's powder, you're grounding the controller to the ground, right? We want to keep that separate. While we're talking about ground, do not take, if this was connected to your powder controller, do not take the other end and attach it to your part. We do not want to send that voltage back into the chassis of the electronics in that controller. Don't do that. Make it a separate ground. So what happens if I'm spraying with an electrostatic gun, whether it's liquid or powder? How is the operator grounded, right?
Yep.
It's paramount. This is a black plastic composite material. It is groundable. We have a groundable air hose that would go on here. And if I'm the operator and I put on gloves like this that you see in every facility, am I grounded? What do you think, folks? No, we're not. No, you're correct. We are not grounded. What if I use one of the nitrile gloves? What if I use one of these? Am I grounded with one of these? No?
If you cut your palm out.
Why would I do that?
Exactly.
Then I get paint on me.
There's no reason.
Ah, oh, geez.
Well, if you're, here's the
What
thing.
about one of these?
But,
what if I wore these?
so, it's kind of a joke. We've talked about this. You know, people will cut the hand out of these gloves so that they can get a palm to gun. But the issues with that, if you're not coating with, if you're getting the proper ground in the first place, the paint's not flying back at you. You're getting the paint where it needs to go if everything's grounded properly.
Right. So, we're not going to worry about this so much. We're going to worry about my contact to here, right? We have, and these guns come with, groundable gloves. This strip is ground right here. So your palm is grounded, and you're grounded when you grab the glove into your hand and your gun. So that fits in there. I'm grounded. I don't have to worry about paint getting on me, and everything's cool, right? We have gun covers that go over this that we can put on here to keep all the rest of this clean, right? So if I'm grounded, paint's attracted to ground, the electrostatic paint's attracted to ground, and if your part is not grounded well, it's going to come back at you and it's going to come back at the gun. If we take gun covers and use them, then that's something that will protect this, right? So the folks that say, nah, man, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to get my hand painted. You're not going to be painted. It's all going to be up inside the cover, and you won't have any trouble with that coming back at you. So it protects you, it protects the gun cleanup's easier, and everybody's going home safely, right?
Yep. All right. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that real quick.
Dainty parts may not be able to have a large hook. If you need to, just get some wire, baling wire, what everybody calls it, right? Just some steel wire, some galvanized wire, what have you. Just put that on up here, hang your parts from it. Works fine too. And it's disposable. It's not going to cost you much. You can throw it away.
And when you get done with your run, you just use a pair of wire cutters and like literally cut the parts off one by one as you go, and then it's a quick process. Super quick process. Couple thank yous to get today. I want to thank Chris Saylor.
Chris Saylor. Thank you, Chris Saylor. Shirkon.
Chris Saylor with Shirkon provided some racks for us, or some hooks for us today. And we're going to talk about these in other videos, but I just wanted to put an emphasis on this. As a powder coating rep and now an equipment rep for a very long time, these were always my favorite, and I still, when I work with customers, I suggest these all the time. It's a square rod stock bent on the edge, on an edge, and it's just really a great way to keep a solid connector. The other thing that you can, or the other area that you can use the same thought process is when you have a rack, a rolling rack in a plant, and the racks always have some kind of a beam or that goes across the top of it. And a lot of times people just use a round stock of some kind. But if you'll get square stock and you actually weld it in place with a tip straight up on the top, that plus this type of a hook, or even using the large master hooks around it, give you a way to quickly clean that little edge on both the hooks and the master rack beam to get just a really good connection really fast, which improves ground, gets you a good true earth ground, and achieve the best coating possible as fast as possible, which is the game, right?
If you already got your racks built and want to improve that, take some angle iron, put it up on the edge, take the sharp edge, tack it to your frame, and then you can have a sharp edge to sharp edge, and that prevents you from having to build all new racks.
And the tinfoil.
Tinfoil's
A lot of folks use tinfoil. It's a very simple way. If you have a high volume of paint that you're running through your job shop, and you have one of those beams on top of a rack that you hook parts to, you can wrap that in a nice coating of tinfoil, and once it builds up a little bit and you start to have a little bit of a diminished ground, you just literally rake it off and put another strip up and you're good to go. It's a great hack for
it's an easy
good ground
maintenance and not have to try to clean a whole big rack.
That's right.
It's difficult to clean a big rolling rack, so that's a great way to do that.
I wanted to invite you to watch more Air Power videos. Give us a call anytime at 800-334-1001. You could reach us on the internet at airpower-usa.com. And what social media channels are we on, Eddie?
All of them: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And the best way to get help from us is call us. We'll come out, visit you, and we'll make sure that you got a good ground.